Welcome to Virtual Coffee with Dawn Rickabaugh, the Note Queen, where we talk about owner financing and notes. Financial solutions, one mom and pop to another.
No, if you keep, you have to have a huge amount of money never to bring in financial partners, right?
But what I could do is, Don,
Okay.
I work with other entrepreneurs like myself,
So
I could bring
that's
in other people's money
exactly. So
and be part of this, so then I could get a spread on
exactly. So if you're not, so the point, I'm really glad this is going great. So you actually brought up the direction where you're going to be the most successful with the lowest amount of work, right? Your low hanging fruit is getting other investors in with you, but they usually want to see that you've done it a couple of times and you talk about your successes, right? Right. So anyway, so if you're not going to spend the next 2 to 5 years being a full-time entrepreneur, being bringing deals so that you're the deal maker, you're the deal finder yourself, right? The next best thing, and for most people, I would say for most people, the low-hanging fruit, if your network is such and your familiarity with being able to converse about this product, your lowest hanging fruit is to get other people in with you. And let's say you need to cultivate money up that's used to 1, 2, 3, 4%, and you need to offer them 5, 6, 7, 8%, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and the lower the better. So you don't go to a room full of investors that are all yield chasers and everybody wants, 15% up on their money. You don't, that's not where you go.
Definitely.
You go to the people who have their money in a CD at the bank. They have, their best insurance, their best investment is a 4% annuity. Those are the people you go to.
Right.
Or the people who are losing money somewhere, right? And say, look, I can pay you 5, 6, 7%. If you want to invest with me, I'm keeping some of my money in. Usually people who aren't hip or not hip, that sounds like a silly thing to say, but if they're not familiar with this asset class, they're nervous, especially in the beginning. So that you need to use your abilities to make them feel comfortable, to be able to explain it, and they'll want to see that you're leaving some skin in the game here, right?
Right.
So let's just take this deal as for instance. Okay, your goal is to try to make 200 passive with none of your own money invested.
Yeah, that's a perpetual. The money hits the bank without me doing it over and over again. That's where I want to be. My eventual goal is to make $200 a month in perpetual income and get that up to about $5,000.
So
in addition to my my passive income.
Right. Okay, so in this case, we're going to pretend like your investing partner isn't going to need to see that you keep skin in the game. Right? But if you had to, could you leave 5,000? Could you leave 5,000 in here?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take out 5,000 because they're going to want to see that you have something to lose.
Right.
It's like this idea of wrapping. Like it's like someone
I've heard of that.
You're wrapping a loan, right?
Right.
If you're going to do a discounted note, this is how we do it, right? So you're going to bring in 82.5, and you want to at least have. And so, how much do you think you could get? Let's say one of your entrepreneurial, partners, people that make a lot of money but don't have time to.
So let's say I'm skeptical like them, right? So hey, Kishore is working with somebody, they're trying to sell me skin oil. So they said, hey, Kishore, I don't mind, I don't know, 10,000. Let's see what you can do with 10,000.
What can you do with 10,000 on this deal?
So I could do another wrap. Can I?
Not on this. No.
Okay.
No. That's going a whole different direction. I just want to stay here for a minute. Let's just say that you were successful at getting someone who wants to play with you, right? Usually they like to see that you've at least done one deal that went well, you know, and you have to be able to articulate it. So like, if you say, I don't know what's possible, it's like, I don't know who you are to the people. I don't know if you're good at explaining things. I don't know if you feel confident in explaining things. You know, so those skill sets, though, are the most important and valuable in the note business. If you want to make a passive spread, you have to be really good at developing your financial friends, your own personal back pocket friends. So if you're good at that, you can kill it no matter what the market's doing. Because even if you had, let's say it was super competitive and you had to buy this at an 8% yield. Well, if you still have someone that'll take 5 or 6, there's 2-point spread there for you, right? So it doesn't even matter. If you're good at creating your own, it's taken me a few years to put all this together, but now I have a lady who will loan money at 5% for me in specific situations.
Right. So Don, I want to be leveraging your experience, you know, that you garnered over the last 15, 20 years.
Yeah, so I want to pretend like
you're able to do that.
Yeah, I want you to be able to do it too.
Right.
And I want everyone to be able to do this, right? So if you can take a friend of yours or a business associate, and I'm already going to say that you're good at all of the things and they trust you, and now they're the best investing, the best they're making on their money is 3 or 4%, and now you're going to offer them 6. I'm going to pretend that. Is that all right? Okay. I'm going to pretend. Now you're doing them a favor, right? You're giving them a higher return, right? So
backed by real estate.
They're going to bring in 82.5, and they're okay with 6. And you say, look, I've got 5,000 of my own. If anything goes wrong, I'm gonna get in there, roll up my sleeves, and do the elbow grease of fixing it for us, right? So if they bring in 82.5, they only need a 6% return to be good, and there's 207 payments left to go. How much of the payment are they going to need? They're only going to need 640.
Right.
Okay, and 900's coming in. So what's left for you? 259. 32, right? So, and you have 5,000 of your own money left in it.
That's
so what's your yield? 62%.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right. The other way to play it would be, don't take it now. They need 8. They need 6. There's 900 coming in. This is a negative number over here. So how many payments do they need? Only 122. Let's say 123, right? So there's 207 payments that you've purchased. You only need to give up 123 to your 6% investor. Then on the back end, you have 84 payments left coming to you of 900 a month.
Right.
So times 900. So this is like your own personal retirement account. You have $75,000 coming to you at the end.
Wow.
After your investors paid off, and you did them a favor. The person who needed to cash out of the note, you gave them liquidity, you gave them a way out, and you got what you wanted. Can you see how that can happen?
Surely.
So does that help a little bit?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Well, where do we get started?
You got to get started with buying a note from somebody, right?
That's a little bit of a background. I did go to a seminar. I started listening to you, of course, podcast, and I dug more. And I went to the Paper Source conference last March, and met with Bill Mancaro and the other Michigan players. I didn't want to, like I said, lock up my entire chunk of money into one deal, and I'm paranoid about that. So I like your idea of doing a wrap wherein I have skin in the game, but yet convince my other investor to say, hey, look, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and if you want this backed by real estate, here's a way to go about doing it, and this money is going to hit your account like an annuity for, like you said, 201 payments or whatever. So that sounds appealing to me.
Yeah, so that's great. And also, you do have to go, hey, Mr. Financial friend investor here, you realize that I can't guarantee this, that I am not God, and that certain things could happen. Like, you can't keep someone whole. Let's say there's a 100% catastrophe, environmental devastation in this area, or something that insurance won't cover, an act of terror, an act of war, alien invasion, I don't know. Just things can happen. So you go, look, I can't guarantee it to you.
Right.
I can say, I'm willing, my money's here too, but I can tell you that if something goes sideways, I'll do everything I can, to rectify the situation, whether you're going to do a loan modification or you're going to do a cash for keys or you're going to have to foreclose, I'll take care of all of that. And in the meantime, you understand that you won't be getting your payments, but as soon as I resolve the situation, either payments resume or I cash you out because we sold the property at foreclosure and got cashed out, something like that. So anyway, we've got to wrap this up, but is it Kishore? How do you say your name?
Yeah, Kishore.
Kishore. Thank you so much for being on. And
Don, you're awesome. Thank you for being there for many people like myself. I've been wanting to participate in this weekly conference call. I mean, this monthly conference call, but I never get the time right because Pacific time and Mountain time confuse the heck out of me. I know they're like 2 hours and 3 hours respectively, but
well, I really
always
appreciate you, really tuning in and caring. And the reason this is important is that we empower ourselves, right? I mean, yes, I know there's a place for everything, but I've drawn a line in the sand. I never will ask a bank for permission to close on a property. So either I buy cash with my investing partners helping me, right? I can borrow money from people. I pay cash, or I buy with owner carry, which is more often the scenario. I get owner carry terms from people.
Right.
And then most of the time, many times when I'm selling, I offer owner financing when I'm selling. Not always, but I love that dance between property, paper, and keeping it on a mom and pop, creating financial solutions, just one mom and pop to another. Because when you can take a local investor and a local, borrower and a local seller or whatever, and we can keep the money in our community, then it doesn't go outside the community to be ripped off, right? Keep the wealth here, and the more wealth that stays in the community, the more home ownership we create in our communities, the better it is. The safer our streets are to walk, the better our businesses do. People can afford to go out to dinner once in a while. They can afford a special class for their kids. They can, so to me, the conversation is not just about money. Of course, money is great and we need to pay attention to it. It's a wholesome, we just really need to relate to it in a wholesome way. And to me, when you have a mom and pop deal that's not just some faceless, nameless entity out there somewhere, it's that's where it gets real and where you create, those heartfelt connections. Sometimes it's not so heartfelt. Sometimes you have to play, tough love, like with your kids, right? So you can't stay if you don't pay. I mean,
Don, if you don't mind, please tell me what would be my next step.
You have, okay, you're gonna have to have deal flow, which you're gonna tap into somebody else who has deal flow, and then you have to have an investing partner. So your path to cash, low-hanging fruit, sounds to me is like cultivating investing partners. So you need to figure out how if you need to be able to articulate it to people so that they want to invest with you. If you can find a smaller opportunity where you can just tie up some of your money so that you can talk about it. The best way that either personal referrals, right? If you take a small deal, then you can say, hey, look, I'm doing really well. I'm making 8, 9, 10% on this deal. Every payments are coming in, everything's going great. And if you just talk about it and you're not hard pushing, right? So if right now, anywhere you could find a deal to buy from someone or a loan to make, right? So as soon as you can find an investing partner, there's no end of deals that you can put together right now for a spread. It might be a 1% spread, 2, 3, I don't know. It just depends. So you're investing partners and then just finding someone who's got a note to sell or a loan to make, and then doing it, leveraging that other person's money, and voila.
You've been listening to Virtual Coffee with Dawn Rickabaugh. For more, please visit notequeen.com.